going to try again. This Instagram thing really gets on my nerves sometimes. I wanted to show up today just to share something with you. As many of you know, I'm a coach and consultant working with brands, helping business owners to actually promote themselves effectively online and offline. And one of the things that I know has held a lot of you back is actually the things that we share and talk about ourselves, about our business. So you might have a little voice, that inner voice that will say to you, you can't do this, don't show up yet, don't go live yet, no one's going to be interested in what you're going to share, now's not a good time to launch your business. Hey, how you doing? Lady Sarah, how you doing? Pura, how you doing? Real Coach Carla, how you doing? It may be that you're even in a situation where right now you are constantly showing up, constantly doing everything consistently, but perhaps your content isn't necessarily hitting the mark. Now, some of you will not be selling right now. Some of you will not be interested in selling. But for most of you, you should be trying to connect and build your audience. This is really important. I've been speaking about this for years. It is very important that if you are trying to, particularly if you've got an online service, you build an online community first. You know, you've got a WhatsApp group, great. Have people opted into that group? If they have, how are they responding to it? You've got a website, you're online, you're active, great. How many people are actually viewing your website? What's your most popular page? Where are people actually accessing your website? Are they using your shop? How easy is it for people to navigate your page? You know, you're on social media. Some of you are on Instagram and Facebook and, you know, Twitter and LinkedIn and all the socials going, but it's a very random approach. You haven't really thought about the strategy, the reason why you've chosen these platforms, the real reason why you're on social media and the outcomes that you expect from being on these platforms. So let me just say to any of you, hi Glorianne, for any of you who are using socials right now, and I'm talking about socials specifically because obviously we're on social media, but for any of you who, just see if I can get this comment in. I want you to think about how you can actually do better, all right? So some of you will know that for the last 4 years, I've been running my Branding and Marketing Review Challenge. I've already had some amazing feedback on that, and we are just on day 4. But even after day 2, people were talking about how good it's been in terms of them really navigating their business and getting better results. And what I want to share with you tonight is that if your approach so far has been a bit random, if at the moment you haven't really got an approach, so for example, if you are showing up online with no real objective, no simple strategy behind what you're doing. Good evening, George. Good evening, Hinch Media. If you're actually actively being online and you're not seeing the results, maybe you spend an hour, 2 hours a day, and over 5 days, that might add up to 5+ hours. You know, your time is worth money. So are you actually looking at having a consistent approach that is backed up with, or informed by, or led by rather, a strategy? I want to ask you that now publicly, to think about that, because a lot of us are doing activities in our business. We really don't have any sense of strategy behind what we're doing and why we're doing it. So we're on social media, we're talking to clients, not necessarily our ideal clients. We're going out, we're going to all these networking events, free and paid. We're going onto these webinars, we're downloading all of the free ebooks and the swipe files, but it's a very random ad hoc approach. And I'm here showing up to you tonight to say, good evening, Coffee, that if you don't yet have a consistent way of working, or maybe you are working in a way that suits you, but you're not yet necessarily seeing the results, you have to really make a decision on the things you need to do to change that. And that might look like investing in a course. That might look like you self-teaching on something. That might look like you completely tweaking your target audience, or showing up more consistently on the right platforms. But my call to you tonight is that if you are watching this, perhaps you're someone who is actively on social media and you're not seeing any results. I want you to do one thing for me. I want you to look at your analytics, especially if you've got a page where you're hoping to sell online or engage with people online and connect with them. And I want you to look at your insights, because a lot of us are consumed with likes and comments, and our approach is very random. We just want to get our post up. We want everything aesthetically pleasing. Everything's got to look really nice and polished. Every 3rd tile, every 5th tile's got to be a quote or a meme or a fancy picture. And it looks nice and polished, but behind the scenes, your analytics may be showing you a very different look in terms of your business, in terms of the conversions you're getting, also in terms of the, hey Janet, how you doing? Hey Tanya, in terms of the sales you're making. So first of all, I want you to think about your approach in terms of consistency, your analytics of you being online. You know, what is your purpose for being online? If you're on social media, or you're on Instagram, you're on Facebook, you're on Twitter, define your reason for being online. What is it? Because it may change. Maybe 2 months ago it was to sell, but maybe right now it's just to educate and inform and build your online community. The second thing I want you to think about is, in terms of your analytics that are online, are you using them to make informed decisions about when to show up, or what to share, or who to communicate with? Are you using them to inform yourself with regards to the types of audience that you're connecting with? The types of people that are actually resonating with what you're sharing? Because it could well be, good evening, Senite, it could well be that what you're sharing online is brilliant in your eyes and may actually be brilliant to someone else who is your ideal customer. But it could be that you've got your gran, your cousins, your uncle, your dog on your page as followers. And therefore, they will not necessarily resonate with what you're sharing, because what a lot of us do is a very random approach without strategically thinking, hi everyone, I've just launched my page, go and find my page, go and sign up to my page. Or how many of you, and just let me know via the comments if with a thumbs up or a number 1, how many of you have ever seen a post that says, I want you to join this follow train, I want you to drop your Instagram handle below and tell me where you are on Instagram so we can follow each other. Because in all honesty, these are not strategic moves. Follow for follow, using hashtag explore, asking people to follow you and doing that thing where you follow someone and then if they unfollow you, you unfollow them. That is not a good strategy to have. So what I'm going to encourage you to do is look at how you can actually get yourself a consistent approach. Good evening, Gavin. Get yourself a consistent approach. And what that looks like is it looks like you writing down, hey Dexter, it looks like you actually writing down clearly, who do I want to show up with online? Who do I want to talk to online? Who is my audience that I'm talking to? When I'm online, how am I spending my time? Are the platforms that I'm on actually serving me? Am I actually seeing results? Are people actually asking me for business? Are they actually telling me they want more information? Am I getting leads? Am I obtaining data with permission? Because if these are the kinds of questions you're not asking yourself, then to me, you've got a very random approach. And I'm going to kind of wrap up by saying that I have hundreds of free videos online, and I could pinpoint you now to my YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/insight2marketing. There are over 80 videos on there that you can access absolutely free. If you've ever watched one of my videos, let me know via the comments. And I will say to you, there is no excuse for you not educating yourself on these things. I've got a whole video on social media and analytics. I've got a whole video on how to target your audience. In fact, I've got 2. And for me, it's very important that I share this far and wide, because what a lot of us are doing is we are on social media, we have a website, we have, webinars that we're doing, but we're not actually using this information to strategically build our business, right? So it looks really nice on the outside, but on the back end, you're not doing the work. And this is one of the reasons why I'm so passionate about helping people, because more of us need to really understand how brand and marketing works. You could have an amazing product, right? And if your marketing is not on point and you're not visible, then no one's going to see it. And similarly, you could have a really rubbish product and a really huge marketing budget that everybody sees. But if your product's rubbish or your brand is not really saying one, then people aren't going to buy it. So there is a direct correlation between branding and marketing. Okay, let me know in the comments if that makes sense. There is a direct correlation between your branding and your marketing. And if you are randomly showing up, you're randomly posting content, you're randomly talking to different people, you're randomly building yourself in groups, you're throwing yourself into Facebook groups here, you're in this online LinkedIn community there, you're talking and showing up and doing videos about goodness knows God what, yeah? You have not got a clear strategy, and that is going to affect your business. And some of us want to see results. Okay, and if you are results orientated like I am, hey Kato, how you doing? If you're results orientated, then what I want you to do tonight is just think about some of these points I've raised. If your business means the world to you, I want you to think about how you can shift from being random and inconsistent to being consistent and clear on what you're doing, because that is going to be a real deal breaker for some of us right now in these times where we're being challenged with everyone popping up and feeling like they're an expert in everything just because they've watched a few YouTube videos, they can educate the world. Let me tell you now, if you're very good at what you do, you need to be clear on what you're going to do to promote that to the world, to promote that to your ideal customers so that they understand what you do and you resonate with them. There is no point in you asking everyone and their dog to follow your page if everyone and their dog is not your customer. All right. Lady Sarah, how you doing? You said, what is the difference between branding and marketing? Well, branding is about your image, your reputation. Branding is about how people perceive you. Branding is about the value you give. Branding is about the experience that you give to people. Yeah? Okay? It's about your personality. It's about your brand archetypes. It's about how you show up. That's what people buy into. Right? And there is a very clear difference between personal branding and business branding. I'm not going to go into that now, but if you are a coach like me and you also have products, physical products, tangible products like I do, then I also have a personal and business brand. Yeah? 2 very different ways of showing up, 2 very different ways of actually generating leads and communicating with people. Marketing is about promotion, the exchange of information, people signing up, leads being generated, and in turn, You might build a relationship with someone that over time they will buy from you. But it may be, as I teach in my non-guru, non-textbook way, that you have a relationship funnel where people actually connect with you and they build and forge really good relationships with you before they buy. And they may decide to build that relationship and not buy, but refer you to someone else who may then buy. Or they may decide to build and nurture a relationship with you where they see you, they love you, but they're not yet ready or they can't afford you yet, but they still buy from you at a later stage down in that funnel. So let me know if that made sense, ladies. Sorrel. Okay, Real Coach Carla said, very true. Yeah, we've got to get clear. We've got to get clear on what we're doing, because a lot of us have got really solid brands. Really solid brands. We're really good at what we're doing. First of all, some of you are not even showing up as who you genuinely want to be because you're being told by gurus how to show up, which is, in my opinion, nonsensical. Because if you're not comfortable in your own skin and you are being told to show up a certain way, then people will see through that. And it will be very difficult for you to maintain consistency and connect with your potential clients and your customers and your website visitors on an emotional level. Yeah. And if we're talking about you connecting with someone in terms of brand experience, you've got to be authentically yourself in order for people to really get who you are, because they're going to buy into your brand before they buy into your before they buy into your product or service. Okay, so it was a quick one tonight. I'm here every Wednesday at midday. Put it in your diary, turn on your notifications, ask me any questions you want to in the interim. I'll make sure I fire those up on the screen on Wednesday, and I'm going to answer them live as well and give you a shout out. But what's important to me is that more of us are clear on what we're doing. Forget this random approach. It's not going to help you. And I don't care what guru tells you that you need to have an aesthetically pleasing page to make sales. A lot of you have got really nice, slick looking pages and you are not making a dime. Yeah? Nobody's paying you for your services. No one's buying your products. So let's actually shift our mindset a little bit and look at what's important. Okay? I'm not saying you don't need to have a polished brand, because you absolutely do if that's your way, if that's your thing. But you also need to have a really shite hot way of showing up and being consistent and offering value and connecting with your audience in a consistent manner so that you can actually get brand credibility and people really get who you are. All right? Doesn't matter how slick your product or service looks on the outside. A lot of people have got really slick and polished brands on the outside and their back end is a hot mess. Yeah, they're not making any money, but they would lead you to believe that. All right. I will wrap up by saying to you, there are many ways to skin a cat. Sorry if you're vegan. Sorry if you're into that whole RSPCA stuff. I love animals. I'm not really a cat lover, but let me just break something down for you in wrapping up. There are many ways to make money. There are many ways to monetize your brand. And if you haven't yet figured out how you can make money from your brand, focus on your key skills. Focus on what separates you from everybody else. I'm not talking about USP textbook malarkey. Look at where you're strong, what you're good at, what you're known for, even outside of your business. And right now, look at a way to monetize that. Yeah? Something you enjoy doing, something that is relevant right now. Yeah, that you can actually help people within this current climate, because maybe what you're offering or what you were offering is not relevant. You can make £1,000, right, from selling 2 products that are £500, or you can make £1,000 by selling 50 products that are worth £20 each or whatever, right? You know, maths is not my thing unless it's budgeting or bringing in the revenue. But either way, just get clear. Don't focus too much on the bad stuff. I started off by saying some of us need to be changing up our language with the can-do attitude. You can do it, yeah? You can do it, but you need to get the right advice and the right support. So have a good evening. I'll check in with you on Wednesday at midday. I might pop up in between that, but you're guaranteed to see me on Wednesdays at midday. UK time, that's midday. EST, that's 7 a.m. I've had a really busy week. I've signed some new clients. I'm really, really excited about what's going on at the moment in my paid membership group as well. So welcome officially to all the new members. But I do want to say to those of you that are stuck, I don't care if you pay me or someone else, but make sure when you get unstuck, right, in terms of understanding what it is you need to do, that you apply the knowledge, that you take the action, okay? Because a lot of us are consuming lots of content and doing absolutely nothing, right? Random versus consistent, you decide. Take care, everyone. I'll speak to you soon. Bye.